going for like an hour and a half. All right. Number of Facebook users reached 1 billion on October 4th, 2012. Behind India and China. Again, that totally blows my mind. They have 1 billion people in those countries. Facebook would then be the third largest country in the world if we talked about that. On April 24th, 2012, there were 800 million Facebook users worldwide. Here's your task. Find a formula for the total number of Facebook users, N, in billions, T number of days after January 1st, 2012. T number of days after January 1st, 2012. So we are not looking at T in terms of years. We are looking at T in number of days. That means January 1st is going to be T equals 0. January 2nd is T equals 1. In addition, 2012 was a leap year. Do you know what it means if we have a leap year? Huh? An extra day, because you may or may not know there are 365 and a fourth days usually in a year. But that fourth day, 1/4 of a day, we don't usually count in a year. We wait until we have 4 of them. So every 4 years, in that 4th year, we have a leap year. And February, which usually has 28 days, will have a 29th day. So anybody that is technically born on the 29th really only celebrates their technical birthday every 4 years. So when they're 60, they really are only 15, but not really. Okay. So 2012 was a leap year. Okay. So here is our exponential formula. Okay. A equals capital P initial amount times 1 plus or minus R to the T power. All right. I'm going to give you just 10 minutes to work within some groups and really try to see what you can pull together here. Yes. That there are that many days total? Yes. So in that year, 2012, there would be 366 total days. That is correct. So you don't have 365. Okay? All right, I am going to give you 10 minutes, and I really do want you to work on this with someone or by yourself if you want. Okay? For 10 minutes. All right? So here we are back together. Love Miss Bieschke. What formulas did you get? Like, did you get anything? I'm like, I barely got this problem myself. What are you talking about? Anybody get anything useful information? Get to any point at all? Okay. So, Kyla, pose your question or your statement, and guys, let's listen. We're gonna work on this together. Do you recall what you said or asked? Okay, say it really loud enough.
I said, will we be subtracting because we went from 1 billion to 800 million?
Did you guys hear that? She said, are we subtracting because we went from 1 billion to 800 million?
No. That's for different countries.
Is it for different countries?
It says between. It says behind India and China. Third largest.
I think to myself, do we all read the same thing? You know how I say you really should read stuff a couple of times? Okay, so follow along. Let me say it one more time. The number of Facebook users worldwide reached 1 billion on October 4th of 2012. Just Facebook users, okay? 1 billion October 4th. Behind India and China, Facebook would be the third largest country if we were looking at the number of Facebook users. We're not saying that's the number in each country though, okay? So then Facebook, okay, blah, blah, blah. On April 24th of 2012, earlier in the year, there were 800 million users worldwide. Find a formula for the total number of Facebook users, N in the billions, T days after January 1st, 2012. Which means January 1st is T equals 0, January 2nd is T equals 1, and 2012 was a leap year. So are we decreasing? No, we are increasing, okay? Because the number of Facebook users increased from April 24th, 800 million to a billion. All right, so now we know we're increasing. What else do we know of, if anything? Do we know the initial amount? What's the initial amount? Okay, so on April 24th, there were 800 million. Is that an initial amount? If we're saying that day, that is actually the final amount. So on that day, we had this many. Okay? Because at the same time, we're saying on October 4th, we had 1 billion. All right? So we really need two equations going on here. We need two equations, one for each of the times they are giving us. Okay? So let's go first to April 24th of 2012. Do I have an A ending amount for that day? Do I have an ending amount? On April 24th, there were 800 million. Is that an ending amount? Yeah, they're saying that is the end amount. So we need to put 800 million. And I'm going to leave it in millions for now. Okay? Equals P. Do I know the initial amount back at the beginning of the year on January 1st? I do? Well, that's for my time. But do I know how many we had on January 1st at the beginning of the year? No. So that's going to be capital P. Times parenthesis, our growth factor. The factor is the whole part in the parentheses. We said we are adding, so we know that. The rate we do not know. And then T is equal to the number of days that we have as we get to April 24th. And it's a leap year. So how can I figure out how many days have passed when we get to April 24th? What do I need to add? The number of days in each month, right? January, February, March, and then up to the 24th, okay? So let's do that. So we have January. How many days do we have in January? Come on, people. How many days in January? 31. Thank you. Let's get to February. Remember, this is a leap year. So how many days are there in February for a leap year? 29. March. How many days are there in March? 31. And April, are we doing all of April? All of April? Are we counting up through all of April? Only the 24th. So right now, up to that day, we are only counting 24 days. Now, we can find that total, but then it says January 1st is t equals 0. January 2nd is t equals 1. January 3rd would be t equals 2. So I can add these all up, but I'm going to have to adjust it by doing what? Okay, well, first of all, let's add them up. So we got 1 and 9 is 10, 11 and 4 is 15, carry the 1, 1 and 3 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 115. So does that mean on April 24th, my T number of days would be 115? What would it be? If January 1st is t equals 0, January 2nd is t equals 1, January 3rd would be t equals 2, January 4th would be t equals 3. So if I'm at day, when we add them up, 115, what does my t equal? 114. It's 1 day less, right? 1 day less. So this is t equals 114. So everybody see how I got that? For some reason, they're always taking the full number of days and then one short. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. That's all we can do with that date. All right, now we have a second date. No, not April. October 4th. October 4th of that same year. All right, we know we had 1 billion Facebook users. 1 billion. Where is that going in the formula? The end amount, okay? So we're doing this in terms of millions right now. I'm going to say 1,000 million, which is still crazy for me. P, do we know what the initial amount was at the beginning of that year? Just say no. No, thank you. We did not. So we're going to have to hold that still as P. We don't know what that is. Times the quantity. 1 plus, did they give us a rate? Did they give us a rate? No. So we still have to call that R. And we have to go to the T power. Now, does anybody know off the top of your head, what is T when we go up to October 4th? I don't know either. We have to add some more days in, right? So if we get to October 4th, up to this point at 1:15, I have only taken it to April 24th. How many days are in April? How many days are in April? There are not 31. Well, so far we've counted 24, but we need to go to October. So we need to count the full rest of the month of April. How many days are in April total? 4 total days in April?
No, I thought you meant months, though.
Okay, not months, days.
Including from the first, or starting from the 24th?
Starting after the 24th. So we've counted the 24. How many total days just in April in general? 30. So if I am up to 24, how many more do I need to add? 6. There we go. So I need 6 more for the rest of April. Okay. Then we have May. How many days are in May? 31. June. How many number of days in June? How many?
30.
30. How about July? 31. How about September?
30.
It's actually, oh, I forgot August. Why didn't somebody say you forgot August? Yeah,
31.
I forgot August. How many? Yes, 31. How many are in September? And I always miss that. 30. Yes. I was like, why isn't this working out? And next up we have October. Are we going all the way through October?
No.
How many days do I need for October?
4.
4. So let's count all the days. So starting at 115, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Carry the 1. No. 278.
Oh, I forgot to add the...
Did you add the 115?
No.
Ah. Now, that is without taking the 1 day off. So if I take off that 1 day, I am at 277. So T here is 277. So, I have 800 million equals P times 1 plus R n quantity to the 1/14th power. 1,000 million is P times 1 plus R to the 277th power.
Wait,
So then if I just shift these to billions, okay? So this is going to be 1 billion. And this is going to be 0.8 billion. These have a lot of things in common, right? The initial amount we don't know, the rate we don't know for both of them. How could I make the number of people at the end be the same? In other words, this has 1 billion. How could I make this be 1 billion? What could I multiply that by? How could I get this equation to be 1 billion? Because then I could set these two things equal to each other and try to work it out. So what can I multiply 0.8 billion by to get 1 billion? Or what can I multiply, forget about the billion, 0.8 to get to 1? Okay, and what do you get when you divide? If you take 1 divided by 0.8, what are you going to get? 1.25. So you want to get to 1 billion. 1 billion divided by 0.8 is 1.25. So we're going to have to take this equation, this first equation, and multiply it by 1.25 on both sides. Okay? Which gives me 1.25 times 0.8 billion, I'm going to do this down here, is 1 billion, which is equal to 1.25 times P times 1 plus R to the 1/14th power. Now this is 1 billion. And this equals 1 billion. It's like saying A is equal to B and A is equal to C. Huh? No, that's not even our rate. A is equal to B, A is equal to C. This now means I can put B, this amount, equal to this. And you were supposed to do this on your own? Ugh. So, this is the B part. P times 1 plus R to the 277 equals over here 1.25 times p to the 1 plus r to the 1/14th. Okay. We can deal with this maybe slightly a little bit more. So what do both of these have in common that I could easily get rid of? We need to have an initial amount and we need to find our rate. But I can't do both of them at the same time. So I'm going to have to let one of them go for a minute. Yes. So how could I eliminate P easily from both of these? Divide it out. So we're going to divide by P, divide by P. P is going to cancel out. And so we have 1 plus r to the 277 equals 1.25 times 1 plus r to the 1/14th. All right. Think back to your exponential rules. Okay. I have this base that is the same as this base. Okay. What could I do here to kind of get them on the same side? No, not yet. We're getting to that though. So what if I divide by 1 plus r to the 277? Divide by 1 plus r to the 277. We canceled the parentheses. Well, yes, over here, but we end up being 1 equals, so then I have 1.25 here. The reason I'm doing this is because you're supposed to subtract, but this is going to give me a negative number. It was not negative in my last class. Why is it not negative? Okay, let me redo this. Let's divide by 1/14 and 1/14. So then this cancels out. We have 1.25 equals, when you have the same base, what do you do with those exponents? I just did the wrong way. If I had, say, x to the 5th divided by x to the 3rd, what would you do to solve that? How much time do we have? Oh, we got 7. You okay? Oh, okay. I was like, she had to go to the bathroom? What would I do here, guys? X to the 5th divided by x to the 3rd. Subtract. You get x to the 5 minus 3, which is x squared. So here, if I have this to the 277 divided by this to the 1/14th, I get 1 plus r, and I need to subtract these amounts to get 163. Okay, so we're trying to solve for r. This is kind of like what we did yesterday. So I have 1 plus r to the 1/63rd power is equal to 1.25. I'm trying to get r by itself. Basically, I have 1 plus r times 1 plus r plus 1 plus r multiplied 163 times. I can't do that. So what root should I take? I should take the square root of, or not square, but the 1/63rd root. So take the 163rd root of 1.25. That's going to cancel these out. 1 plus r is equal to Do you know how to take the 1/63rd root? On your yellow calculators. This would be, you would hit second and the caret button, which is the 5th button down. Let me go back. I think you would hit 1/63rd first. So put 163 first, then second caret, then put in 1.25. And what do you get for an answer? 1 point what? You guys know how to do that. You're going to have to know how to do that. You got to put 163 in on your calculator first. Then hit second and the caret button. And you're going to get in the number. So can anyone give me that number? 163, 1/63rd root of 1.25. Gives you 1.001369. Running out of space. All right. So the rate, if that's 1 plus the rate, if I take that away, then my rate, after I subtract 1, my rate is 0.001369. But we have to find the initial amount yet. Ooh. So let's go with what we know. So we can say 1 billion. How can I do this easily? 1 billion equals 1.25 times P to the 1.001369 power, which is to the 1/14th power. Oh my gosh. I need my cheat sheet. Girls, you're talking a little too much. I know. I'm trying to get it. Okay. 1 billion equals P to the 1.00136 power. Okay, we did the other one. To the 277th. So to solve for P, you would divide by all of this. To the 277th power, divide by this to the 277th power, 136 to the 277th power, and you get P is equal to 0.6863. So the final formula in billions would be 0.6863 times our growth factor of 1.00136 to the T power. I don't know. I'm going to talk about Bieshki. That is too much. It's a little too much. Little too much. Okay? All right. We definitely will go over page 107 tomorrow. Keep working on homework 1 and 2. Some of you are shutting down on the homework. You got to continue to do the homework. You really should. You really should. Homework, homework.